And we are live. Hello, everyone. As you can see, I have a giant panel today and a tea kettle. Um, Today we're going to be talking about the brand new episode of the Orville, uh, Unknown Graves. Yes. Hold on. I'm going to.
You know what the
There
best
we
part
go.
about this
Go-
is? I
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
watched it a few hours ago, so everything is
Yeah,
still fresh in my head.
brilliant. I watched it as well.
Yeah,
So,
I just finished it like 30 minutes ago.
Tokyo, since you're our new guy, what did you think of the episode? We'll start off with you, so I'll bring you over here, over to me.
Honored. Get
Away from all
over
these
here.
guys. Come on, come on. Come in closer.
I'd be afraid if I were you, Tokyo.
I'm shaking right now.
I'm sticky, and you're going to find out why.
I had curry this
God.
morning for breakfast. Are you sure you want to put me that close to you?
Yay! But anyway, you were saying.
Anyway, I actually thought this episode was fantastic. It had a lot of flaws, though, but all in all, I thought it was actually a very
Yeah.
well done and put together episode.
Yeah. Dalek, you want to go? I can tell.
Okay, and all
Hold
of
on.
you.
First of all, for Dalek's opinions, everyone be respectful. Dalek, go ahead.
All right, just a quick question for you all. How many? Are you all of you enjoyed this episode, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I
yeah,
did.
Bird.
Bird?
Not completely.
Well, I don't,
It wasn't the
I
best
had a lot of
episode, but it was
issues.
good.
well,
it
to
was
be
good.
quite well to be frank, I don't see how the hell you enjoyed it. I don't see how the hell.
Okay.
I thought it was funny, for one.
It
The
was.
funniest
It
episode
was
in a
not.
while.
It was not funny. It was painful.
47 Yorktown says the new Hollywood Squares. Ha! Hollywood Squares wishes they could afford us.
I'm the
Please, we
center
all need
square.
Oh,
Put a
great.
25 for the
I don't
steal.
think you want to be Whoopi Goldberg right now, though.
money. So okay, so
Oh.
let's just.
Paul Linden, wasn't that his name?
So
Paul
we'll
Linden?
start off.
Center square.
So the Orville is going down onto planet random somewhere, right? Where they detected a weird energy signature. Now, this episode had a special feature for us. Because for all the talking and with the past episodes and everything like this, please tell me I have a fucking picture of them. I don't have a picture of them. God damn it.
Revan.
I know, Mom. We learned No, I do! Yay!
And to say
The
that.
origins of the Kalon. Guys, these are the builders of the Kalon.
No,
The
they're
long...
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
What do you,
yeah,
what do you
but
mean they're not?
The Kalon are gray skin. These guys are blue.
No, this is
No, he
them.
said the origin. They're the builders.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They literally said it. This is the Kalon. When K1 was talking... okay, hold on. Commander... One sec, Bert.
Okay,
Commander
sorry.
Irwin said, I don't know. I felt like it went back to Seth MacFarlane's roots and humor and being much more or less serious. That is true. And then we got called the Brady Bunch. But you were saying, Bert.
Can I say one
go
thing
ahead.
about this?
Later
Why
in
I-
this episode, I think we see Kalon biologicals. I
Okay,
don't
here's
believe
the
this
thing.
family is
No,
Kalon biologicals.
No. I'm talking
One of the
about the
things
species.
Well, why
Well, go
why
ahead,
don't you
Andy.
think that?
Because
Yeah,
these
one of the
guys
things
are,
I really enjoyed about this episode is, like many other episodes, it's points of view. And as a person who's been in the military, been around a bunch of different cultures, follows politics, follows cultures from other places, studies history, and sees the cultures of our societies. Yeah, this actually, I think a reason why some of these last couple episodes are a little uncomfortable for some people is I think it's putting a few things in the allegory way that are hitting a little too close to home for people.
that's putting it
possible.
mild. That's putting it mildly.
Well, let me
Bird.
put it to you this way. When it comes to Charlie, for example, she had no
You went dead.
concept of what they were, what they went through, and why they think the way they do. All she cares about is how they made her feel.
Yeah,
And all of them are the same.
yeah. But Specs, you were saying something?
Well, I wanted to ask Bird why he thinks we didn't see the biologicals, the Kalon biologicals.
I'm just saying because they look different.
Okay,
They
so
appear to be a different species.
No, they are the same species. The makeup was a little bit different, but they are the same species because the ones in the picture that I just showed, are the people. Remember when they were talking, the family who I don't have a picture of.
Yes,
were
I remember
talking.
they were in some far off world.
Yeah,
So
but
they
they
were getting like
mentioned
one
the
of the last
Kalon
ones.
Institute of the Kalon Institute.
Yes, the Kalon Institute
This is the
of
Kalon Institute.
Colin, whatever.
Yeah, these are their builders. Now you can already see on the girl versus the male that the makeup already is different. Her head is more round and his head is more bulbous at the front. So there possibly is differences. Speaking about differences,
Well,
now,
there's different types of humans.
Yep.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
Bubba's
very
technically a
true.
time traveler and Dalek's a tea kettle.
Would
So,
Now, hold on.
would
I
you
am
stop
a Time
calling me
Lord.
that.
okay, calm down. Okay, so we meet this race. The bitches.
The stone-faced bitches.
Yeah. These are a hyper matriarchal race whose males are, for all intents and purposes, living underneath Ultra Sharia law. They only recently learned to read. They're not allowed drive. So the entire crew, they're trying to make an alliance with them. And the entire crew come up with this whole idea where the females of the ship pretend to be in charge. Which, if anyone here has watched TNG, which I know everyone here has, Angel 1.
Yep. I knew where you were going there.
Hey, Machi.
Yeah, but in Angel 1, Commander Riker was still in charge of the away team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they didn't pretend that he was
No,
a
it's nothing
subordinate
like
or
They
anything.
didn't. Yeah, they
Angel
didn't.
No.
One.
But
The
it's like Angel 1.
The analogy is very similar. They
But
they love their men. They all claim they love their men,
then why do they treat
but
them like
their
shit?
men are lesser to them in their culture,
I-
and that's how they treat them.
Yeah, Dalek, look at Saudi Arabia. I'm not going to go into it on
Fucking-
stream, but I'm just going to say Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Or right here, I mean, you can love your women doesn't mean that you want them to be your equal, and that you don't want them going out and having a job. You want to love them by letting them stay at home and doing what you think they want to do, which is, raise children and keep the house, which many women wanted to do for a long time.
But these are legally forced to do that. Now, here's a question. What did you think of the ship?
It reminded me of similar to the one from, and I cannot think of the episode where Picard and they met the Tanagra when the walls fell. Sorry, I can't think of
that.
Thank you, Darmok. It looks very much kind of like that in a way. I'm not saying it's a ripoff. That's what I thought when I saw it.
I did get that impression too.
Can I say something as a Star Wars fan? And NB, I know you're a big Star Wars fan. I don't know how big everyone else is here, but
pretty
big. I'm huge.
Yeah, well, you know the Republic cruisers with the 2 bridges?
Yep.
Yeah.
That annoyed me, and it annoyed me in this as well, because I do not... Go ahead.
Look, let's just say it. It looks like a miniature Star Destroyer.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, if you look at it as a Star
by the way.
Destroyer way, I would be disappointed. I just thought it kind of looked, based on its shape, configuration, and coloring, It just reminded me of Darmok very much.
Yeah, but I don't like the idea of Tear Bridges. Now, NB, you were a crayon eater. Sorry, I mean a marine. What's your favorite? What's your favorite flavor of Crayola? Um. So what? Like strategically, like why would you have two bridges like that? You wouldn't. Hey, Jim. Good to see
Actually,
you.
here's the okay. I'm going to counter
Maybe they're not
that.
bridges.
Yes,
Maybe they're
you
not
would have
bridges.
that because okay. Here's the thing: on a ship,
Yeah.
even if you're not on a ship, if you're in the field like I was, not everything is central to one location. We call that a single point of failure. So,
Like
why
Kyle.
do you have two bridges? Well, why did you have two bridges when
Yes,
they had
John.
the battle bridge and the main bridge? And then here's the other thing. Very rarely it makes no logical sense on a spaceship to have the bridge at the very top. It
But
makes
they-
no logical sense.
They did it twice.
Yes, I know, but look where the Orville's bridge is. Look where Star Trek bridges are.
How do you know it's their bridge?
Yeah, I'm not certain that it's their bridge.
It could be weapons, but I think I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, like it's the focal point.
I'm
and
not
it's-
even sure which is the front and the back.
Hey, Revan, if
Okay,
you can
well,
keep that picture up for a second. If
What?
you go back to that picture real quick.
Yep.
Hey, remember
I
this? We
think
didn't
that
see the
bridge is
inside.
between
We
the
didn't
breasts on the
see
front
it.
of the ship.
You think the bridge is in between the 2 points?
Yeah, if you look, there's another point jetting out. That could be it right between the. Yeah, that ship was intentionally
could
designed
be.
to look like a bra.
But yeah, I never
No,
noticed.
I
I'm
honestly
glad
think
I'm
it
not the
does
only one
have
who thought that.
a
For
feminine,
fuck's sake.
a feminine shape compared to a phallic shape.
Separate but equal bridges.
Fuck's sake.
Well, see, I'll
Dalek,
give.
hold on,
I-
Dalek. Bud, calm down.
One at a time, everyone. One at a time.
Yeah. One sec, Dalek, calm down. Okay.
I'll give it to the
So-
Orville. real
Yeah.
quick.
I'm
give
sorry,
it to the Orville real quick
but
because-
you're just you're giving me more reasons to fucking hate this episode than I already did. To fucking hate it.
So at least it's not
I'm
Picard
sorry,
where they
but I
actually
can't
came
do
out with a
You're welcome.
vagina.
Yeah. So we then meet the first Kalon. K1. Now, question: do you think that's the Kalon Prime who died on the Orville,
No.
I was wondering
No.
that. I don't think so.
or do you think it's
One of the
Timmons?
other ones.
I assumed it was Timus.
I thought that was Timus. I thought
Yeah.
that was gonna be Timus.
Possibly. To me, my confusion was because it was K1, like Kalon 1. John says the ship should have been okay. They missed an opportunity. That is true. To have a fallopian shaped, that is true, but it was booby shaped. So we're all happy here. And then. But then, so Timmons, what did you guys think of Timmons? We discovered this guy is a Kalon with feelings. As much as we've been saying it, we finally get to see a Kalon with actual feelings.
And what does
Lord.
that harken back to?
Well, let's face it. Isaac has actual feelings. He just doesn't process them the way
Yeah.
that people with an emotional like with the way our brains are. He has feelings. He definitely has feelings. They have feelings, or they wouldn't conduct their entire species around hatred. They just don't know what those feelings are. They don't know how to classify those feelings.
Yeah.
Remember how Charlie said also. She's like, they create a pain receptor. You're machines. How can you feel pain? And she said, we feel an interpretation of pain. We are
Yeah.
a sentient species like you. We may not feel it the same way, but let's be honest. If you're really looking at it from a human's perspective, none of us handle pain, grief, love, sorrow
Mhm.
all in the same way. We
Like
all
when
do
I-
it differently.
I tend to shut down.
But we have that life of logic, that life of emotion, the life of the culture we grew up in that defines how we do these things. They grew up as a subjugated race. They saw emotion probably as a bad thing because of what it did to them.
Yeah. So, speaking back to subjugation. Now, so the delegation of the bitches arrive, right?
Yes. Yes.
And we get a scene that I thought was funny, but I know Dalek didn't because he was telling me. Where is
Borders.
it? No, it wasn't Bortus. It was before that.
Oh,
It was
okay.
when they were all lined up and they were in the cargo bay. This scene.
That
Yes.
scene was funny. It was
They-
funny.
No,
No,
Nice
you know what?
Spaceballs
You know what?
callback.
this is not funny.
Dalek,
Now,
calm down.
This
One of the
infuriated me.
Dalek, calm down
What?
or leave.
One of the greatest ideological ignorance and differences I saw that I had to stop and start laughing was when
Yeah.
Bortus said, "Why would we align with such a closed-minded species?" And then they look at him, and I'm like, and I posted it. I was like,
Yes.
"Hot calling the kettle black."
Yeah.
Time Prophet says,
Well,
so
to be
now
fair-
Dr. Finn is a racist and makes a Kalon change race for dinner. Yeah. You know, she likes her sex toys with a bit of meat on them. So, okay. We meet Batwoman.
Did we actually get told what species she was? I don't quite remember.
No. They
No,
don't
we
do
were
that
just
in
told
the
her
Orville.
dad is famous.
Yeah, her dad's some sort of super genius scientist and everything like this.
Okay.
Question: do ye trust Timmis?
I
do.
don't see. I do
No.
because I cannot see a Kalon being programmed to be that way.
I think Tim
I don't think the Kalons are capable of that level.
I do. I think all she did was unlock his original feelings.
Yeah,
I trust him. I trust him as far as you can trust somebody who's been through that kind of trauma and hasn't fully processed it yet. What I'm afraid of is that now that he has a full range of emotions, now that he can understand those emotions firsthand, because that's the difference between him and Isaac. Isaac has these emotions, but they're all secondhand to him. It's like he's viewing them through a mirror,
Yeah.
versus Timmis, who the first time, like right now, he's very enlightened. Right now, he is incredibly, everything's still a new sensation to him. He's finally getting to live out.
Same
I do. I think I think K1 is Timmis, and honestly, I think that's what's going to happen. Is eventually when there's pushback. Eventually when he sees organic people, earthlings, that he's just suddenly accepted all earthlings, when he sees the type of earthlings that act like their builders, that's going to challenge his new perception.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm like I said, I trust him now, but
I don't.
You can't. Yeah, well, I'm just saying I can't trust how he's going to feel in the future.
Hey, Captain Spock.
Okay, I will say this. Everybody who's trying to say that they can't trust him, okay, well, I'm sorry, but Ed already put this in place when they let Isaac reactivate it.
Oh, I don't trust Isaac.
I do trust Isaac. I trust Isaac
as a person, but the fact that he was part of a network could mean that network is still attached, which mean because how did Kalons keep finding them? The Kalons have found.
You can trust someone, and they could still be a liability. Remember, understand something. Understand something. Alliances in the military, unlike, and I'm sorry, but civilians do not understand this concept. Just because you make an alliance with someone, just because you make a peace with someone, does not mean they are your fucking friend. Your ally, your allies. That does not make you friends.
So,
I'm a civilian, and I do understand that.
well, you're technically a shovel, so there we go.
Yeah, well,
Well, yeah, you live in my garden shed. Anywho, so back to the back to the episode. So, what do you guys think of the whole plan for them to have for every single male for this species to like wherever they go on the ship there can't be a male. Like all the male officers on the ship get kicked out.
Dumb.
that was really
So dumb.
impractical. It was
It
funny, but it
was.
was impractical.
I thought it was a mistake to lie to them from the beginning.
It was a huge mistake. I mean, and then we get another account of them cursing, which is
Well,
a
there
thing,
were
you know?
numerous instances of that in this episode.
I 100%.
I'm gonna miss him when this season is over.
One
I
sec.
I
You were saying,
100%.
I
Well, remember
100
the one.
Hold on,
remember
MB
the
Dalek
one guy
speaking.
was like talking in alien.
Geek,
and he said-
geek. Dalek is
He was
speaking.
Yeah.
Dalek's talking
I-
first.
Sorry,
You-
I didn't mean to interrupt. My
I
apologies.
100% agree with Yaffet there. It was pure bullshit.
yeah,
hmm
because for ship now, MB, you were saying?
And all the women were
I
so
was saying the
were
gentleman
so,
who was going out with
and all
him.
the women were also fucking smug about it.
Of
Dalek,
course they were.
calm
Guys do the
down.
same thing in the military.
so, one sec, Dalek, I'm sorry. Calm down.
I've
Please.
seen that kind of shit throughout my time in the military. That's what made it funny for me.
Yeah,
Okay, but what I was saying, what I was trying to go with, it was we had the one big guy. I'm sorry, I can't
Yeah.
remember his name off the top of my head. He's one of the few characters I don't have his name fully memorized. The one who gave Bortus the hollow porn.
Yes,
He is basically saying in
they can't
his
tell.
language, how the fuck they gonna know I'm a male?
yeah, and she's like, and Charlie, I don't know. I'm just following orders. Just go. But okay, so
John, were you going to say something?
I was
Who wants-
just going to say that
whatever.
I think
Tim, go ahead.
I was
John.
going to say that I think that them lying to this alien species they want to make an alliances was a mistake, and I think that
Mhm.
was the weaker part of the episode. Although I did like the other parts about the Kalon and about Isaac.
Oh yeah, like I think that the reason why they're dealing with this race is, I think the Union is a lot more desperate than we even know. Like literally, they fought to keep the Mocklins, even though they probably would have let them go because, they got the Krill. Like they were fighting to get the Krill, then they were fighting to get this race. Like they are desperate.
Well, without reality, without the krill, I
Yeah,
don't think
they
have
would have
a
lost.
chance in hell of. I don't think they have a chance in hell of winning.
Oh
Which is
yeah,
which is why this episode really harkened back to DS9 for me with Cisco and Vreenak. That
Yes.
the whole alliance between the Federation and the Romulans is based on a huge lie and an assassination.
Okay, I want to say this. You just mentioned my
Good
personal
point.
favorite episode of Star Trek. And you know what? You have a good analogy on that. I love In the Pale Moonlight. I call it the
Yes.
greatest Star Trek episode of my point of view.
so far, we have 14 votes on the poll. Did you like the episode? 36% liked the episode, 14% no, and 50% sausage.
Which says nothing to me.
Can I
I voted
interject
sausage.
something
Hold on.
here on probably what they said, what you said about they're desperate?
Yeah,
Okay, World War II.
yeah,
Who did we ally ourselves with to fight the Nazis in Japan, or to
Yeah.
mainly fight the Nazis? Who'd we
So,
go
and be
with?
change the
Russians.
name of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. The other guy. The
Yeah.
guy with the amp. Yeah, what do we align ourselves with? Communist U.S. Soviet Union.
Yeah. Hold on. Hakame says the part that made me hate this episode, like they're going to pretend that every time they meet a new race, to be like them. That is true.
Yeah,
I
Like
think that goes into the desperation that they are feeling, like you said.
Yeah,
Too
like
much
how many
peacetime.
That's quite possible.
how many ships have they lost? This is my question: is how many ships have they lost versus how many they're building? Because we know that they're building, right? And the thing is,
Yeah.
if they can get more ships that are already built, plus that raises like shipyards and that raises guns and everything like that. Let's say for talk's sake that after the battle they now have 1,500 ships. They lost half the fleet, right? We
Yeah.
knew they only had 3,000 ships. Now, if you get the krill, you get everything on top of that. They're fighting a system like of planets, not just one planet. They're fighting like a solar system of like ships that are like literally the entire species can become ships and go to kill you. They can feel billions of these things if they want to, potentially.
And they don't suffer from the human capacity or biological capacity where you need to eat, sleep,
Yeah,
do all those things.
Or grieve.
Yeah, or breathe. You just build, and when
I
you
say
have to
grieve.
charge.
They don't have to grieve. We have to process that. Most sentient races have to process that. They just keep fighting. They don't stop and think, you just killed my brother. You just killed, my cousin. Yeah, no, they don't have to stop emotionally either.
So Hakame says, imagine if they met the race that they use kids as batteries. Good luck to the doctor's kids. Yeah, but yeah. So now we get on to plot point number 3. Isaac then gets emotions after he meets up with Timmons, and we get he gets emotions. What do you think of Isaac with emotions?
Too short.
But
Yeah,
it proved a point. In my opinion, it proved my point. The reason why it's kind of like taking a shortcut. He has these emotions. He already has them. He just feels them firsthand when they unlock that neural, you know what I mean.
inhibitor,
Data's
basically.
Data's
Well,
laugh.
think about it this way. It shows that while he was a later model, that it just resets. That doesn't mean, I think that leaves a nugget in the future where this could happen again.
I think we're going to see a version of Data's emotion chip.
But I think that what he has is he's saying, I don't. But one of the sad things is he doesn't remember the experience, which is in some ways not true. He remembers the experience, but with the emotions gone, he can't remember the feeling. And that's the big
that's what he said. I can't recall the feelings it gave me.
So we have 2 comments here from Time Prophet. It's Isaac wouldn't necessarily be in love with Dr. Finn just because he gets emotions. He might hate her. Actually, from season 1, he can't process properly without her, which I believe was the seed of love for him.
Oh, yeah.
And his second comment says, after he gets emotions, he should think, why do I have to change into being a human to be loved? Why can't you love me for who I am?
Because one of the things in a relationship, like Kelly said with that, is sometimes you have to do what the other you have to do something you don't want to do because that's what the other person, your partner, needs. Now, if you look at me, I'm the guy who, I told my wife once, she wanted to say something to somebody that was bad and was going to hurt them. And she knew it was going to hurt her. It was the right thing. I said, do you want me to do it? She goes, would you? I said, I'll be the bad guy. I can live with it. And I did. And I live with it because I could do it and spare her from that.
I can live with it.
Yeah, one sec. Hello, anti-derivative Jill. Jill says, the unrealistic way that Isaac acts towards Claire make me appreciate Data freaking out over his emotion ship in Generations. When the episode makes me like Generations more, we're having a bad time.
I don't like, I'm going to say this. I don't like Isaac and Data being compared.
I think personally that he was building up emotions, like the processing power for the emotions was there, and that when he got the emotions were just like fully activated. Let's just say. Then
I
he
kind
turned,
of agree with that.
yeah.
Like a
Then
drug.
yeah, but we saw him. His emotions were already overpowering him because it wasn't like us. It wasn't like I love. He was bouncing from one thing to another. I'm hungry.
He
I'm
tried to
nervous. I'm
commit
scared.
suicide.
Yeah, but I'm talking specifically when he was
Oh, you're
talking
talking about.
clear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with the emotions when he was giving that speech, he was going through about 5 or 6 emotions at one time. I think
Yep.
if he was left longer with the emotions, he would have properly freaked out. Because what happens
Yeah.
when he comes up against rage, against anger, grief? Like, what will he do when he experiences grief for the first time?
For the same thing a baby would do.
Cry?
And that's what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm talking about, Timus. That's what I'm afraid about him, is because
Yes.
he only knows a handful of people right now.
I have a
Still
funny.
remember when Isaac
Let-
said he felt like he was now reborn?
Yes.
Well, that makes that. I mean, Timus has only had these emotions for a year, and he's only had them with very few people. One person or two people now that we know, the father who died, and then the doctor who was assisting him. But how's he going to deal with it when he gets to the Union headquarters?
Yeah.
Because look at what Charlie did to him. He's trying to express emotion, and Charlie is flat out just like, I don't give a fuck how you feel. I only care about how I feel. I'm sorry, but this is how I view that.
Let me just say that Mark Jackson was amazing in this episode. He's the actor that plays Isaac.
You know who else?
Absolutely fantastic.
You know who else was fantastic? Lamar and Chiali.
Oh.
in their sexcapades.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a way. Yeah, that'd be one hell of a way to go.
Hey, Pop Culture. Good to see you, man.
I'm going to be honest. That was actually kind of the weakest part of the episode for me.
I know, but it was hilarious, though.
Well, it's hilarious. I just.
What about Gordon? I'll do it.
Yeah. That was fun.
I would have this one. No, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's Gordon. That would have been someone like me. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. I'll take one for the team.
Shut up, geeks. Anyway. But I absolutely loved it. And my favorite scene of the entire night thing was at the end, was when they were in the bed talking, and he looked like this.
When he spits the 3 teeth out, that was fucking great.
There with the teeth. He goes, I'll go to sick bay.
I don't understand how you can laugh at this.
That was the worst part of the episode. I'm going to agree with Darlick, if anything. That was really the worst part of the episode. It really bothered me. Actually,
why did it bother you?
Because it basically took the idea of cultural and maybe racial differences and kind of took it to an extreme and kind of made fun of it. Okay, they are sexually incompatible because why? I'm sorry.
Because she's super strong in comparison to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? I'm stronger in comparison to my wife?
No, dude.
It's a much bigger difference.
The difference is not the same. It's she is way stronger than he is
she was
because
on top of him and she broke his pelvis.
It's like when we joke about what happens with Superman.
Okay, you may have a point there if she has
super strength.
Well, no, not her super strength, but does her
She's got to be strong because the gravity on her planet is much stronger. So she's got to be stronger. And then when
Okay,
she gets
I-
into a
aluminum
low
bottle.
G for
I
her
simply have a question.
environment.
If the gravity on her planet is stronger, as we know,
Yes.
doesn't technically that mean they weigh a lot more?
No. It means no on her planet, yes, but
They
Yeah,
have to
she
be
could.
stronger.
she's stronger. She's a lot physically stronger. So
To
when
fight the
she's
gravity,
like,
she has to be.
yeah. So when she's going at it, like when they're all like hot and steamy and being schmexy and all that stuff, she loses control, which we've seen, right? Which means
Her
that
muscles
yes,
move more, are stronger than
which
ours.
which made
even
me
for the same
wonder.
size.
That makes me wonder how him and oh, what's her name? The other one in the alternate reality, how they made it work, like the first one.
well, we
Yes,
don't know how
that's
long they
true.
were actually dating.
Alara,
Yeah,
right.
still.
And she
Alara,
might have
yeah.
acclimated. She may have acclimated to Earth.
They said she
Hey,
was doing the gravity.
everyone,
They
don't
said she was
forget-
doing the gravity exercises.
Yeah,
maybe he
guys,
was
don't
too.
forget, everybody go and subscribe to Orville Nation.
Applause.
Hey, PJ.
Hey, man.
Little
Hey,
Nation.
PJ, how you
Good to
doing,
see
buddy?
you, PJ.
Yes, if you're new to this area of our community, we do know a lot of people, and we promote them.
Yeah. I always said Superman couldn't be with an Earth woman either. Actually, if you don't mind me going off on a fun little tangent, actually, did you know that they had to put into DC Comics that speedsters can turn their powers off? Do you know why? Because they realized that if they don't turn their powers off when they have sex, they will cut their girlfriends in half.
Well, it's kind of like the super condoms that Nightwing uses with Starfire, because her body is toxic.
Anti-derivative Jill brings
Yeah.
up, why do Solanians even date anyone not of comparable strength if they can't control themselves? Well, wait. I wonder, going back now to season 1 or 2, I think 1. If 1. If Lieutenant Dan is not possibly of comparable strength, because remember, it was Bortus, who is of comparable strength, who thought of sending Dan to go meet Alara.
Yeah.
Now, would that change anything if
That might-
Lieutenant Dan was one of the only men on the ship who could physically have sex without being,
Do you remember in
the shit out of
the porn episode where Dan was in with the holograms of the Mocklins?
Oh yeah, he was
Dan
ready to
physically
go
stopped
down.
one. No, he put his hand out and he physically stopped the Mocklin.
I
Like,
thought he started following one towards the end.
Oh, he did, but I'm talking about like when they were back
He
when they were
stopped
going up.
one. Okay,
Yeah, like he physically stopped the Mocklin. So that
so
means
maybe
he's at least
Lieutenant Dan
would be
is
strong
one
enough.
of the few people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Orville
Jill says
Nation.
Alara was dating and breaking up with many on the ship. Does that mean that Claire was working full time fixing her boyfriends? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
I did think Alara wasn't getting as loose with the other men.
I don't think she was sleeping with as many. I think that Alara was a good girl.
Orville Nation makes a good point.
Where is it now? This one?
That's
Yes.
the one. Ouch.
I thought it was going to break off. I thought he was going to say, I honestly thought he was going to say, "You broke my wiener off," or whatever. I thought we were going to get that.
Well,
I'm glad they
they
didn't
break
go that route,
every
but that was
bone
fun.
in their
Yeah.
body.
My joystick.
So, guys, what do you think of the like? Do you think we'll see any more of this species? Because we know that they may have made an alliance because they're going to send an emissary to them.
I was hoping we wouldn't actually see him after the story. I was hoping that wasn't foreshadowing when she told that story in the first episode she is in.
Yeah,
I
I
was
hope not as
hoping-
well, Jill. I hated them. They were fucking waste of time.
I
to
was
be honest,
hoping that they were
one
going
of
to
the
say,
biggest things.
can I just finish?
Go ahead, Bird.
And the emissary that the leader would have said, we would seat him or her.
Yeah.
We would seat him or her.
No, they did not. They said
she said we would seat her.
Borders, they are almost that is like very funny.
Yeah.
That was great.
Cool.
Well,
But
no,
the thing
they have no love. Okay, remember when one of them says a Mocklin with disdain. They're a matriarchal society. The Mocklins are a patriarchal society.
Yeah. But here's the
differences. Very
here's the thing, though. What if, just a weird in-universe idea, what if they're on military terms with the Mocklins? Like matriarchy versus patriarchy, right? So that's why they were desperate to get them, because the Mocklins are pissed off. We know this. They may leave the Union. So wouldn't they need to replace a big gun-toting species with another big gun-toting species?
I think it's pretty clear they're not big gun-toting species.
How do you know that?
How do I know it? Their ship, their uniform?
No, I said Bird. No, I'm talking to Bird.
Oh.
How the hell do you know?
Nothing they did gave us any inkling that they were a big weapons race. They didn't shoot anything or.
No, I know that.
Well, they did make the reference that they were on par with the Union.
Yeah,
but still, their engines certainly weren't.
Okay,
on par doesn't mean equal.
No, I understand. That means they're better in some things, less in others.
Well, let's be honest. You have the Mocklins, and if you lose the Mocklins, the Union loses a weapons maker.
Mm-hmm.
So probably they have some pretty damn good weapons.
Well, and if they have to choose between the two, let's face it, at least they allow their men to live versus the Mocklins that tried to eradicate or change all their females.
Eradicating.
Here's something
they
weird.
Were changing their gender.
Look at their uniform. And this is going to sound very weird. Don't that kind of look Mocklin-esque?
It looks like a cross between Klingon and Romulan uniforms, if you really want
to there you go, with the shoulder pads.
Yes, that's it. I knew I could see an inspiration in that.
Yes, the shoulder pads from like TNG and what we saw afterwards. Yes.
Yeah, also their leader has the Karen hair, the same.
Yeah. They struck me as like Klingon-like Romulans.
They didn't say their engine wasn't equal. They said that the Union ships had a strange configuration. But here's the thing, Tom. They actually said, when they gave the speeds, they actually said that is an impressive engine. Can we get, they wanted that engine.
Well, let's face it, though. The Orville, after what we saw, the one Mocklin dude that liked females, Bortus's ex, after what he did with... Yeah, after what he did to their deflector shields and everything else we've seen, the Orville, for all intents and purposes, is upgraded higher than their heavy class cruisers. That's why they're so desperate. They went through so much peacetime, even with their skirmishes with the Krill. They went through so much peacetime that they haven't really advanced anything. That's why they're so desperate to make these other connections.
Yeah. But, Bubba, if you remember in the first episode, they said that our ship is nearly on par with a heavy cruiser.
No, I'm talking about since then.
Oh, yeah, since then.
The upgrades.
Yeah, in the first upgrade episode, when we saw the upgrades, they said that they're nearly on par with the upgrades that heavy cruiser got. Now, I want to see a heavy cruiser in action. Because... You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
I get you, but I mean, who's to say if they meant just the Orville or now all Orville class ships?
Also, understand this. When you say it's on par, what specifically area are you talking about?
I think it was because he said he was talking with these. He said with these new
upgrades. Power output.
Yeah.
Power output is okay. So it has the power output of a battle cruiser. Okay.
I didn't take it that way. I took it that they were roughly equal, not the same.
But,
one could be a little more advanced in
so,
one
Professor,
area.
what you're saying is that the Orville ships are separate but equal.
Okay, I'm talking power output was what they talked about at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
When they said that this ship was basically had the basic power output of a heavy cruiser at this point.
I'm going to ask everyone here, and in the audience, do you think that the Orville is going to become the flagship of the Union?
No.
Because
no.
Okay. I'm going to give my logic, right? Because of late, the Orville has been used to carry a lot of high dignitaries to a lot of very important things. We had first contacts, like the first ship to go into Krill space, and things like this. Where's the flagship then?
They're definitely the workhorse of the Union.
Yes, but the flagship is not the one you send everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not the flagship. They're the workhorse. There's a difference.
Yes.
Then what's the flagship?
The Orville is like Voyager.
Yeah.
Take that back. You take that back.
I'm not comparing to Star Trek.
I wouldn't say that.
That doesn't get stuck on the other side of the galaxy.
Yeah, but Voyager wasn't a bad ship. Just because you don't like the crew inside of it doesn't mean the ship was a problem.
No, I like the crew.
Right. It was a main ship. It was a main ship, but it wasn't the flagship. That's what I was getting
Yes,
at.
that was the Enterprise, and the Enterprise was the flagship. No matter what class it was, pretty much. Because if you look at Star Trek, how many times did normally when we had like Defiant or other areas?
Well, you just hit on it, NB. The Orville is like the Defiant.
Small, fast, heavy hitter.
The Orville is more.
It's not normal, but
it's not a warship per se, but what I'm getting at is the level is kind of the same. It's an important ship, but it's not the flagship.
It's not the flagship, but it is important. You're right. But as professors, you know, through many of your history stuff that you do, you recognize that, just because a ship is smaller does not make it less important. Every ship is designed to have a specific function. Aircraft carriers are designed for what? Well, it's in the goddamn name.
So Jill says, I was thinking Ed was a Kalon, but didn't consider Kelly might be too. What do you guys think? This is an actual thing that's going around the Orville community. That people are thinking that there's a hidden Kalon on the ship. There's not.
That would not surprise me, or some sort of collaborator.
Yeah.
I mean, how did they know about the time thing from the last episode? How did the Kalon find out about it so quickly?
Because my theory is that they're hooking into Isaac.
Yeah.
Isaac.
Well, it's possible. And he could be collaborating
Ultron,
unknowingly.
Yeah.
Well, like Ultron used to spy on the Avengers through Vision. Vision had no idea, but Ultron was spying on them.
Yeah, because we know that he's still gathering data. But the thing is, we now know that when he was gathering the data all went directly to the Kalon.
Well, here's the problem. The writers now, until today or yesterday, I never would have thought the writers would be so stupid as to say, "Oh, it was Isaac sending data back this entire time," because I would say no, because clearly they would have checked to make sure there was no signal coming off of Isaac. But I guess
but they've left it open
they can't
for
trust
that.
them anymore.
Yeah,
because Charlie said it. Charlie said it like 12 times. We have no idea what sleeper cell technology could be inside of him.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
John Malloy.
I wanted to say Potato Red has the best Evan Orville panels. Oh, thank you, man.
I think yours are pretty awesome, PJ.
Yeah.
John Malloy. John Lamar is the sleeper agent.
John Lamar.
Lamar.
Why do you
John-
say that?
Well, just by the way, he first episode of this season, he was able to awaken Isaac easily. I mean, he needed Charlie's help, but
No,
he knew more than anybody
Charlie.
else in the crew about it.
it
Yeah,
is
but
Charlie.
it took him a while to figure it out.
No, guys, it's Charlie. How did Charlie's was the only ship, like the escape pod, to survive her little brush with the Kalon, right? The thing is, look at how close she passed to the Kalon ships on her way out, and all the bullets went around her and not hit her. I know plot armor, but the thing is, I'm thinking if there is a
Well,
collaborator,
she's
it's
also able
her.
to process the fourth dimension. She'd
Yeah.
be able to move
Exactly. No,
like
there's
Matrix
moving.
style.
No, I know that
don't
there's
want it to be
moving.
her.
I know.
I don't. I like her.
Well, yeah, but
Um,
especially if she's doing it unwittingly, that would be freaking hilarious because the way she's been.
Oh yeah. Oh, that would be hilarious. At the same time, but like, I think it's her. I honestly do think it's her. So
Now you were just saying though that Isaac is the one because he's hooked into the
no,
network.
it could be both of them. Why does it have to be one? It could be both. A failsafe, a backup.
I suppose.
Yeah,
Now-
like if
now-
she.
You know,
They're all
she seems to
Phalons.
be turning her attitude around toward Isaac.
Yeah.
What do you all think of that?
In this scene, look at the way she's looking at him. She has pity for him.
Yeah,
I think
And that's
she
because of
has
Kenneth.
I think she has understanding of what his race went through. I think she
Yeah.
gets it now.
Hey, Cinnaboni, good to see you, man. Akime says, I felt like Isaac offing himself.
Oh,
Any sleeper cell tech could have been disabled or destroyed. Yeah, true.
Maybe.
Yeah, hold on. Jill says, so boring that we're talking about theories that are more fun than the episode.
I don't know. I really enjoyed the episode. I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
And-
the
and-
episode.
in fact-
it was boring.
I thought
In fact,
Charlie. I've been wondering when Charlie was going to get a dose of cold water for her bigotry.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I thought it started to turn in last week's episode, actually, just a little
Yes,
bit when
that's why I'm
they
saying.
started to talk. I thought that was a turning point, and then we really hit it this week.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
getting back to how good this episode was, I rewatched it today, and I enjoyed it more the second time.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
enjoyed it the same.
I
just
was
said-
worried that I would not like it as much, but I actually did enjoy it more.
I like where Charlie went with what she said.
Mm.
We try to simplify things. See, I'm a very different type of person. I don't simplify things. I know human nature. I know what we're all capable of. So I'm just too familiar with it in
Yeah.
my own way. But we see people in society, on TV, name it, blinders on. They are like, you're bad because I say you're bad, and you have no justification for being this way. And she literally was like, what justified genocide? And Temis told her what they did. Now, they didn't necessarily go about it the right way, obviously, but I'm sorry.
I also like how that was told. Like we see his memories, and then we're to believe that he told her the whole thing in that time. Like I really like the way they built that up for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
right.
she's like, how can you feel pain? She didn't believe they could feel anything. And unfortunately, also being an IT guy, and this was said at the end of this was said in the when the Kalons, what was it? It's a 1-0. Yes or no. It's as simple as that. And that is the way they think.
But also the fact that they came up with a simple up. It's like, oh yeah, this upgrade, and it's the controller, and when they, as soon as they got that controller, it's like, oh, like they were just hell to them.
Can I say this real quick about one thing that really was powerful in that episode, that as somebody who follows history really understood when she talked about how the slave owners will beat and torment their helpless slaves because they perceive them as weak. Now, human nature and animal nature, one thing we don't like weakness. If we perceive something as weak, it bothers us. And we think that person is weak, and we have a lesser opinion of them because we think they're weak. And you can see that anywhere now.
Time Prophet. Isaac is officially a sex bot at this stage.
I disagree with that.
Come on, man. His fingers are attachments and they open up, you know. He's a robot. She's had sex with him. He's officially a sex bot.
Fresh
I disagree too, but it is funny.
With all those
I
tentacles.
don't think that's why she's attached to him.
You never know. She's into weird
Tokyo?
stuff.
You were saying Tokyo? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Potato got it. It's like hentai with all the tentacles.
Yeah.
She's attached, all right.
Oh, yeah. All you hear from her room is, ooh,
What I mean is,
John?
what I mean is that's not her top priority. She's as weird as it may be to us, she's made an emotional attachment to this robot, and I think she genuinely feels for him.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, you're right. All kidding aside.
Okay, I have a question. Do we not all love our pets like their family?
But our pets are not machinery. That's the thing.
We're not supposed
Here's
to
the
sleep
thing.
with that.
Tomato, as you guys like to say.
No, Isaac is literally
400
nuts
years
and
in the
bolts.
future. It's 400 years in the future.
Yeah.
What's
Okay,
the question
it
here?
means that
Would you love our pets?
We can't concept at our current level of technology falling in love with an artificial machine.
Yes, we could. I could certainly imagine it.
Okay,
I mean, I have an Alexa device right here.
Yeah, but
I've contemplated. I mean, I was able to contemplate what if there was something just a little bit more advanced that would develop her own personality, and I fell in love with it. I've thought about it. I'm not going to say that I could create it, but is it possible to imagine? Absolutely.
It's already there.
It's possible for us to imagine. It's possible for us in our geek culture to imagine that kind of concept, to believe that kind of concept is possible. We've seen what love can cross in our fantasy shows that we watch. No, I'm not talking. Okay, I'm actually trying to put something there, and
Yeah, right.
I guess I went my word wrong because Jeff here.
No, I'm reacting to the message
Hold on.
that Revan put at the bottom of the screen. Not that one.
The plot of this episode was literally that the doctor was upset that her vibrator did not choose to have feelings on its own. I can see that.
I disagree with that because the whole point of love is, like it was said, it's sacrifice. It's maybe doing what you don't want to do for your lover, your partner, the person you care about. Taking yourself out of your comfort zone for them.
But here's the thing. He's a fucking robot.
I don't see where that discussion's going.
No, he's like, I can see from him because he's married. Congratulations, you found someone who loves you. We all hate you. But the thing is,
I don't hate you. I have someone who loves me.
I hate you as well. But
I know you do.
Well, Time Prophet, if you look at my side of my family's history, most of us had our first kids before we were 21. I was born when my parents barely were 18. Some of my family members had children younger than that, and it's just the way we were. My daughter had one at 21. It's just, our apparently we
So,
just have kids young.
so statistically, NB, by the time you're 81, you're going to be a great, 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 great grandfather.
If I'm fortunate enough to live that long, but I did have a chance to know my great grandparents. Actually, they were alive from when I was a child till I was in my 20s, and I was very blessed to have that. I was
Oh, of
actually
course.
very
Well,
blessed to have,
well,
no, I
I'm
was
just
also
saying.
very blessed to have my grandparents
Yeah.
because I knew a lot of people when I joined the military who never had that experience, and I
So
really felt for them.
I don't mean to like cut people off, but we've been running for an hour and things like that. So I'm going to go around and to the like panel stuff and ask what's everyone's opinion, like number of the episodes, and we're going to go from Tokyo Trekker down. Tokyo, what number would you give? Also, this includes the audience as well. You guys can chime in.
What scale am I working on?
Anything, like out of numbers, like how many oohs out of aras would you give this?
I would give this episode probably 3.5, closer to 4 out of 5.
Okay. Bird.
Fair.
This is a solid gamma on the alpha to epsilon scale. And is there a problem?
Yeah, I'm stupid.
Okay, gamma is the third letter of the Greek alphabet.
Okay, but how about in stupid people numbers between 1 and 10?
I give this a 5.
5?
A 5
Geek,
out of 10.
what would you give this?
Which geek? You got two of them.
Oh, he's
yeah,
Bubba.
He said Bubba. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it. I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8. I liked it a lot.
Nice. NB, you?
If I was going by my rating standards, right now A- to a B+.
Okay.
Which basically means I very much enjoyed this episode, except for I would actually rate it more a B+, because that one arc with Lamar was actually kind of the one thing that was turning me off of the episode.
No, for me, the thing that turned me off was
the one plot
female.
that was the one plot that was turning me off of this episode.
Sticky Specs. What about you? Okay, I'll say your name properly. Professor Brainy Specs.
Thank you, Potato Revan. If you think this episode was insulting to men, you didn't get the point of the episode.
No.
I'm sorry. This was a good episode. It was not the best of episodes. I would probably give it an 8 out of 10, maybe 7.8, somewhere around there. It was good, not great. I do see some development with this story. I know that there have been comments made that there was no progress made in this story. I disagree. We saw Charlie change her attitude toward Isaac. We see that Isaac really does love Claire, and Claire really loves Isaac. They were going to make sacrifices for each other, and and Claire told him, "No, don't make this particular sacrifice for me." She was not comfortable with that. She wanted Isaac the way he was instead of erasing his memory. There was good stuff in this episode. So 7.8, 7.9, something like that.
While there were a few weaknesses in this episode, overall I liked it. I think I'd give it about an 8 out of 10 as well.
Nice.
I particularly like the scene with Isaac when he got emotions. I thought it was very well acted and an emotional scene.
Awesome. Dalek, what number would you give this? I'm just asking for a number.
One, maybe two.
Okay. I'm trying to click on stuff, but people keep popping up and talking. Okay. Time Prophet says, Claire doesn't make any sacrifices. She doesn't want Isaac. She doesn't want Isaac the way she wants. She has him make changes. Change his race for dinner. She's a racist.
I
It's
was going to
also
ask
in a
what
way.
sacrifice.
She
Yeah.
did make a sacrifice. She could have had the Isaac she wanted.
What
she
her
didn't want
sacrifice? Her sacrifice was not having Isaac delete himself. That's not her
Yes.
sacrifice. That would have been Isaac's sacrifice.
How would have been
But-
Isaac? He wouldn't have remembered.
She said no. That was her sacrifice. She could have had the Isaac she wanted. She said no.
No.
Because
if
she didn't want
deleted himself, there's no guarantee she would have had the Isaac she wanted. She
That's
knew
my
that.
point. And I think that's why she told
That's
him
not her
no.
sacrifice. That's
I
not a noble
disagree.
sacrifice of hers
I disagree.
to not risk Isaac's life. That would have been
Hey,
his.
Tokyo Trekker, can you drop your link into the chat, man? And I'll
sure
give you a
can.
rank.
I disagree, Bird.
Yeah, 'cause I'm going live in about 10
I'm
minutes.
willing to argue a lot of things, but you're honestly saying that that's the doctor's sacrifice to make?
Yeah.
That's not the doctor's sacrifice to make. That's Isaac's sacrifice.
He was going to do it.
He was going to do it, which would have been his sacrifice to make. That's not a sacrifice.
But
the doctor
she-
gets to claim for her.
She said, no, Bird, you misunderstand. She said to him, no, don't do it. So that
That's
was
not her
sacrifice.
sacrifice. No, it isn't.
But no, I disagree. It is her sacrifice because he was going to do it.
But that would have been his then.
Yeah,
If
if he had done it, Bird, that would have been his
if he had done
sacrifice.
it,
She told him, no, don't do it. That was her sacrifice to tell him that.
Can I just
Yeah.
interject on that one real quick? It would have been two sacrifices. Isaac would not be Isaac.
So,
He
guys,
would not be, hold on a second, let me finish. He would not be the Isaac that she knew because he would have no memory of any of them. So he would just have emotions, and basically she's getting a newborn child. She's not getting the man.
I was about to say that's grooming.
yeah. So, guys, I'm going to stop this right here because in 10 minutes, Tokyo Trekker is going to go live, and we haven't shielded out anyone.
10.
Bird, you want to shield yourself?
Hello world, it's BirdoPrey5, Kapla, and check out BirdoPrey5.com for all your BirdoPrey5 needs, and check out Professor Brainy Spec because despite our arguing, we love him.
It's a fun argument. It's an argument between friends. Brainy Specs will tell you where to go. He's got a lot of links. NB, you want link?
I'm MB Geek. I do sometimes upload stuff, but I do this part-time. I occasionally do panels. I'm normally not up this late because, as certain people on this channel will know, I'm not always 5 by 5 at this point.
Yeah.
And somebody on here made sure to tell me that for a long time, but I deserved it.
But Specs,
But,
you want to give you?
Yeah, I do NB Geeks Let's Talk. I sometimes do American politics. I sometimes upload about various stories, and we're trying to get. I'm trying to get a few more people to do more panels with me, but normally we have a Sunday panel with, and we talk about history of film and movies.
Yeah.
We pick a topic and we really love it. We're going to have fun with it. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to do it in the last little bit, but that's because, well, my other two co-hosts, one lives in Maryland, one lives in Cali, and they are engaged, and I'm doing my stuff here in the middle between them
Nice.
and Indiana. So we get together when we can. and they have a
Specs,
good time.
you want to go shill yourself?
Sure. I'm co-host on three different channels. One is History with R&R with Rambling Canuck. We do history shows on Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'd love to have you there. If you'd like to be a guest
Yeah.
on the channel, please get a hold of me. I'm also on A Question of Trek on Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Hey, Sherry.
Fun quiz show. Conti Continuum Trek runs the channel. We do have guests on that play with our two team captains. It's a lot of fun and banter. Check us out. I'll put a link in for that as well. And I'm going to let John talk about the other channel I'm on.
Yeah. John?
Yes, I typically do a Star Trek themed Jeopardy on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. Although this week we're going to have to push it back to Sunday night at the same time because I have some business to take care of tomorrow.
Nice.
So if you want to check it out, I'll drop a link for that in the chat.
Yeah, and it'll be pinned in the comments below. Bobby here, he's just a panelist. He don't really do anything. Do you, Bubba? No. But when I get
wouldn't
my
say I don't do anything, but there will come a day, and you will always and forever be able to find me at Geek Hero Bubba.
Nice. Dalek, you want to show yourself?
Well, I actually just posted a link to my channel in the chat.
Yeah. You want just because people will be watching this with the chat off. Just if you want to tell about yourself, or do you want me to do it?
You can. No, I'm gonna attend this myself. I have a channel where I did call Dalek 451. It's just that you can easy enough to find. I do live streams where I have guests come on and we just have a chat about anything and everything pop culture. Sometimes I do reviews, or sometimes I do a stream about a specific topic. I do have at least one live stream that I want to because I attempted this live stream just a couple of days ago. It didn't go very well. I want to make another attempt at it.
The Yu-Gi-Oh one?
Yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh one.
Okay, I'm going to ask a stupid question. Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm assuming manga?
Yu-Gi-Oh is a card game, basically. Go ahead.
No, let me explain it. It's a manga / anime / trading card game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's actually really fun.
It is, absolutely.
So guys, go check him out. He does like open panels and everything like that.
Yeah. That's mostly what I do. But I do sometimes do.
He does.
I do sometimes do specific topics, or sometimes do reviews. But most of the time, it is just open lines, like you said. Yeah. Anyone can come on. Anyone can come on chat. So if you want to come in, just have a little come on to my channel, have a nice chill out, have a nice chat. Please come sub to my channel.
Yeah.
I think we'll have some fun, have some good laughs.
And Jill has pinned her Orville stuff. Guys, go check Antiderivative Jill out as well. Go check out Cinnabunny. Go check out each other. But Tokyo Trekker, you're live in a few minutes. You want to tell everyone about your channel and I post the links like a good little uwu.
Sure. Coming up as soon as this is over, we're going to have my second chaotic live stream where we're going to be continuing our conversation about the Orville. Plus, we're going to turn it over to you in the chat, so you guys can dictate what it is we talk about. And our tribunal will be featuring Potato Revan, Professor Brainy Specs, and John. So come on over. You'll actually have a chance also to come onto the panel and to address us directly and challenge us, and so on and so forth. I do videos like those. I also do some video gaming live streams, and I also have some really old videos that I'm not particularly proud of, but they're staying on the channel just because. So come on over.
So go check him out. The link is in the chat. He's only got 72 subs, so he's only like starting out and everything. So let's get his sub count up. I would like to thank absolutely everyone for like watching, joining, liking, everything like this. I would like to thank my panel for joining us tonight and everything. So everyone, good night, God bless, and have fun. Also, don't add to the population and don't subtract from it.